Good morning, YouTubers. T-Square with T-Square Talk. So hope everybody's having a great day. Got a good video planned out for you guys. Some people are going to like it. Some people maybe may not. Sometimes people don't always agree, or we're not always rooting for the same thing, where some of us are rooting for the price to go up. Some of us are wanting the price to come down. And there's a good reason. They want to stack more. Obviously, there's a lot of excitement building around precious metals. There's a lot of people out there that are trying to stack as much silver as they can. I'm going to tell you guys my stacking strategy, I guess you can say. And I'm going to tell you guys what I'm hoping happens and why I'm hoping that it happens. Now, I know right off the bat, some people are like, why are we seeing such a small consolidated stack? Because my table is a little bit bare right now. I've been doing some cleaning up and pushing some stuff around, a lot of trading, and really didn't want to show a big empty table without a lot of cool eye candy, I guess you can say. So I kind of zoomed it in, but it's still going to be a great video. If you guys enjoyed the video, please help me out by taking a quick minute, hitting that thumbs up button. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you guys think. And if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I'm also going to be talking not just about my stacking strategy, but where I think things are probably going to go. And the truth of the matter is, whatever anybody wants is not guaranteed going to happen, I guess you can say. So even if you hear on YouTube, hey, I want this to happen, it doesn't necessarily mean that it will happen. I just have my thoughts on what I would like to see happen. And the reason this video kind of came about was I had gotten a comment today. Here it is, 1:30 in the morning. Still didn't know what I wanted to talk about. And so when I had read this comment, I was like, I'm going to end up talking about this tonight. So the comment was, hey, I got a question for you, T. If you're not selling at $50 or even $60, possibly, because I said in a previous video, I'm not going to sell at 50. I might sell some at 60. So if you're not selling at $50 or maybe even 60, why are you wanting the price to drive up and not just stack a bit more? So that's a valid question. A lot of people, that's where I'm coming from when I say a lot of people have different thoughts on what they want to happen. Now, in the comments below, if you would, leave me a comment that says, I want the price to go down or I want the price to go up. This will give me kind of a good feeling on how other members are rooting. And you can elaborate if you want. So where I'm going with that is why I say I wouldn't sell at 50. I would not sell at $50 because I think once we pop through that 50, we are going to see a big jump. A big jump. Once we finally get to that 50, we're going to have some resistance. There's a lot of people that will see silver at $50 as an all-time high, essentially. And it is, not accounting for inflation. But with that being said, a lot of people are going to sell. And if you have any doubt in that happening that way, take a look at what happened when gold hit $2,000. So gold hit $2,000 and a ton of selling happened. In fact, so much selling happened that we've seen it get beat down to 1,700 and change, roughly. And I mean, that's a pretty big percentage drop when you think about it. That's like, let's see here. 10% would be a $200 drop. We did even more than that. So, over 10% drop, pullback. But that was the weak sellers, the people that didn't see the bigger picture of what's really going on. Once we overcame that selling, that didn't really last a super long time. Look what happened. We just pushed forward hard and took it all the way up to 25. And that's kind of what I think is going to happen with silver. Once we push through that $50, us going to 60, maybe even 70 is going to be like a hot knife through butter. Literally, it is just going to cruise through it. So the fact of me not wanting to sell at 50 is because once we hit 50, it's a no-brainer. We're going to 60, maybe even 70. But when I reply to I would consider maybe selling some at 60, then the questions start coming up. Well, if you think silver could potentially go to 100 or maybe even 200, why would you want to sell at 60? So I'm one of these people that, I don't shy about my lifestyle. I am extremely frugal. I mean, I literally will save rainwater. Why? So I can use that rainwater for watering my garden, for taking care of any kind of stuff. I could go outside and just turn on the garden hose. I don't like doing that though. I like being frugal with my money. And I know some people will say, hey, what's it going to add? $10 onto your water bill? And they're right. It wouldn't add a lot because I've done it before. Same with electrical. I keep my AC, my central air is off. I live in Central Texas. Think about that for a second. South Texas. I shouldn't say Central, but some people call it Central, but it's actually South Texas. And I don't use central air. People ask me if I am crazy. I said, nope, I don't want to use it because I would rather take that $350 power bill and change it over to a $50 or $60 power bill at peak. We're talking at max in the middle of summer. A 50 or 60, that gives me $300 extra. At today's prices, that's, another 10 ounces roughly. And someone might say, well, what about the premiums? Okay, so, but needless to say, you get the point. I sacrifice so much right now to stack harder because right now the silver price at 30 is mind-blowing. This is the opportunity of a lifetime, in my personal opinion. There's so many things that's going to push silver higher. I think even gold's going higher. I don't even think that silver has begun to follow gold yet, but it's coming. And so when I say that I would consider selling some at 60, it's because I have been extremely cheap on a lot of things. I mean, think about this. I live in South Texas. My car AC does not work. But to make matters worse, the windows don't go down either. The motor in the window, gear, I guess you can call it, the motor, whatever, the window motor, I don't know, broke. It's maybe a shorting in the wire or something, because sometimes it will want to go down, but I'm not going to take a chance because I put it down before and then it wouldn't want to go back up. Now, these are things that just show that, man, this person's willing to kind of give up whatever to stack harder. And here's the thing. I'm willing to sacrifice on myself. Now, I know some people will tell me, man, that's like worshiping silver and gold. I don't think I'm that bad. And the reason I don't think I'm that bad, I will still help other people at the cost of spending a little bit of money. But there's a difference between, in my opinion, of being greedy with your money and wanting to be frugal with your money. Certain things, if I can do without, I'm going to do without. I do treat myself once in a while. I might go out to eat, but a lot of times it's places that are running a special on something. Maybe it's Tuesday night half-price Sonic burgers, or maybe it's the lunch special at the seafood place. $22 for a pound and a half of 3 different seafoods is a pretty sweet deal. You get a half pound of this, half pound of that, and a half pound of this. Or you can take the whole pound and a half of one item. I do watch what I'm spending on. And where I'm going with this is you have to be willing to sacrifice when the opportunity is there. Right now, the opportunity is there. And when the price of silver goes crazy and shoots up to $60, you've done missed it. What you sacrifice a meal now? I mean, what are you going to get for it? You're not even going to get an ounce of silver. But right now, let's just say hypothetically, you go out to eat at a decent restaurant. I don't go to really high-end places, but let's say you go to a decent restaurant. I'm going to go out on a limb and say you might spend $30 at a decent restaurant. Someone that spends can comment and say you ain't getting nothing nice for $30, but I don't know. Needless to say, you could sacrifice one meal going out to eat at a nice place to get an ounce of silver. That will be worth 2, maybe even 3 meals later. And some people will be like, well, how do you figure? Because if silver goes up, everything else is going up. That's not a guarantee. That is not a guarantee because The same forces that are manipulating silver down right now is going to be forcing it a whole lot higher later. Because the extreme short positions that's beating the price of silver down now, that's the reason silver's so cheap, is because of the short positions. 400 silver contracts for every one. When the manipulation breaks through and they lose control, and they will, you're all of a sudden going to see, someone's going to comment because of the way I talk sometimes with my accent, but you're going to see the price of silver just go nuts. And they know this. And they know they're not going to hold it down. And when they really start losing control, they're just going to let it go and embrace it. Why? Because they've got so much of it. They don't mind. You think they wouldn't be happy seeing silver hit $60 if you're sitting on millions of ounces? Of course not. They know that, you know what, let it go right now. We'll let it shoot up. Once it structures, I guess you can say, once things settle out, we can go back to the manipulation then, if the dollar still exists. But here's the thing, no matter what, there's a chance that they'll be able to manipulate it with a new system. Even if the dollar collapsed, we go to a Fed coin, you know what, there's nothing stopping a Fed coin from being able to manipulate it too, if you have enough of them. The only way they wouldn't be able to manipulate it is if all of a sudden the entire country or world started embracing gold and silver. Now, what's going to happen to make something like that happen? Obviously, you need the price to just shoot up astronomically. And at $50, there's going to be a lot of weak hands that are just going to be like, you know what, I'll cash out at 50. And then, you know, they sell out. You see a big drop, maybe down 50 to 40. People laughing at you now. You should have sold your silver. I told you, dude. You should have sold it, on and on. And then 40, 42, 44, 46, 50. Boom. 54, 60, 65. The jumps get bigger and bigger. Why? Because think about this. If you've got something that's $10 and it goes up by 10%, whoop-de-doo, it's up $1. But if you've got something now that's $100 and it goes up by 10%, you're now at $110. So the gains on silver are going to be bigger in dollar value, not in percentage. But the price of your precious metals are already going up. For those of you guys that have been stacking for, we're going to say 6 months, if you bought gold, you're up 25% on your investment. And silver, you're up what? Roughly 20%, 18%? You know, so here's the thing. Some people out there are saying, see, I should have been buying gold. I wish I had been buying gold, on and on. Gold has already seen a nice jump. Silver hasn't really seen it yet. Because generally when precious metals go up, silver has a huge jump in comparison to gold. Just like when it starts coming down, silver has a huge drop in comparison to gold. Look how quick silver can fall, and then gold just kind of holds its value. And that's kind of what we've been seeing when we've seen this recent dip. And here's the thing. If you're one of them naysayers out there and you're watching this video, first, I'd be shocked that you would make it 1345. I mean, we get the naysayers that just come on, write a negative comment, laugh at silver, and then they move on. But the truth of the matter is, if you're a naysayer, you can't dispute the nice gains that we've seen. Yeah, I mean, we were up to 28% gains for the year, and now we're only at 18% gains for the year. You think that's not going to come back? We've already recently hit 3250. We're already back on the climb for 3250. Come the first week of next month, I would be willing to almost bet whatever we will be over 3250. By the first week, the first 7 days, somewhere in there of next month. Of June, July, August, September, October. The first week of October, we will blow through 3250. And people are going to be, that sold their silver at 3250 spot, are going to be complaining. And it happens over and over again. I read the comments from people that have been silver stackers for a while, and they're like, 32.50, bro, I'm selling. And when it goes back to 20, I'm just going to buy it all back up. It may not go back to 20. There's a little bit of hope in there that we could see a drastic pullback in the last week of next month. But in the first week of the following month, that's it. Interest rates most likely will have fell. And that will bring on easy money. And people are not going to want to have low interest when they can put their money in something that's making them money. Why do you think a lot of these Bitcoin, silver, gold have been doing so well? Stock market, because people didn't want to loan banks money and by putting it in a savings account when they could put it in the stock market or something that's going to actually make them money. Then now, it's not really climbing as much because there's a lot of people out there that are buying CDs. I talk to a lot of people that tell me, I bought a 6-month CD, I bought a year CD. Although right now I think 6-month CDs have the best interest. And if you get it before they change the interest rates, you're locked in for 6 months. But them interest rates are probably going to go away. And as they go away, where are you going to put your money? When all of a sudden we go back to, oh yeah, we'll give you 2% on your savings account, you ain't keeping money in your savings account. You're going to look for somewhere to gamble it. And that's exactly where easy money comes in. I ended up talking to one company about a 0% credit card recently. And I couldn't believe it. I said, we're back to 0% credit. And they said, well, we're looking to loan some money out. And the company does this periodically. And they'll loan out 0% for 18 months. And in 18 months, you'll go to the lean you over the counter interest rate of 29% or whatever it is. It's crazy. It's a good deal. It promotes 0%, promotes doing stuff that you wanted to do. I've been on the fence and want to get a better vehicle. I've told you that before. And at 0%, it entices me a little bit to want to buy new instead of 7% used if I'm going to borrow the money. Now, some people will say, couldn't you sell some of your gold or some of your silver, put that to it, and then that way you don't have as much? I could. But on the flip side, I think the gains of gold and silver are going to far exceed basically where the interest rate that the bank will do, 0%, And I would probably be on the fence now of buying a new vehicle because we're going to hit a fine window where the economy is shaky right now, where you can get a better deal on a vehicle and the interest rates are still okay if you're willing to buy new because they'll give you 0%. Why do you think a car dealership or a car manufacturer, I should say, is willing to give you a 0% on a new vehicle? It's not because they're selling like hotcakes. It's because they're not selling. People are not buying new cars as much. Why do you think the housing rate has to come down? People can't afford a high interest rate on a high value house. Either the value of the house has to come down or the interest rates have to come down. And a lot of people can't sell the house if they're upside down on it. And that's where a lot of this is going to start to play in. And we're nearing that point. It's funny because I was actually talking to a realtor a while back. And realtors always want to say the economy's never been better to buy a house. That's what they do. They sell you houses. They get their commissions off of that. It's their best interest to pump you up to spend the money on that. Just like a precious metals dealer is going to pump you up to want you to think that silver is going to go to $5,000 an ounce. And I've heard that. And the math, yeah, they paint a picture and the math did check out. $5,000 silver. But it's insane because they're basically taking situations that aren't going to happen. Like let's hypothetically say if we backed every US dollar to silver, well, yeah, then you'd have to have some crazy amount of value for the silver because there's not enough silver to back every dollar at $30 an ounce. But they're not going to ever back the dollar just to silver. They might go back to a precious metal standard where they back the dollars to gold and silver. Maybe even I heard someone say Bitcoin recently. Well, yeah, maybe they'll have a basket of goods. That idea has been talked about before. We have a basket of goods and you back the currency against a basket of goods. And if somebody wants something out of the basket, they have to put something in the basket. Almost like a trade group. And that's why I say it's important for you to set up some sort of a trade group with other people. You want something, you have to put something into it. If that something is silver, if that something is groceries, whatever the case may be. Trading with people and bartering is a huge play. I mean, literally, trade is how you build stuff. I mean, even countries, we focus on trade. You know, that's why these tariffs, they're no good. They're no good. Tariffs, all tariffs do is raise the prices of goods on the individuals, and then the government puts a tariff on it. So the government makes more money so you can pay more money for the goods you're buying. Think about that. It's, you know, that's what I don't get. A lot of people are, oh, I'm for tariffs. We need to put tariffs on everything certain countries sell us. No, you don't. You want to get your product as cheap as possible. If you need oil, you want your oil as cheap as possible. If you want a car, you want your car as cheap as possible. But people don't understand this. With that being said, we're going to wrap up here, but I got to say one more time, if you made it this far, please hit that thumbs up button, leave me a comment, let me know your thoughts, and if you're not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Also, if you want to help the channel out, become a member. It's only $1.99 to become a member right now. It's a super awesome deal because as a member, every month we do some sort of a members event, and guaranteed, it's usually an ounce of silver for the most part, but it could get a lot better. This month, if we get 75 members, if we can hit 75 members, we're going to be giving away a certified graded Libertad, Mexican 1 ounce of silver, Libertad. Certified and graded. So pretty cool if we can hit 75 members. If not, we're going to give away an ounce of silver of something cool. With that being said, going to wrap up the video here. I thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope some of the stuff I said kind of made sense for you. We do videos every day of the week, so I hope to see you guys hitting that subscribe button, following for more. Take care, everybody, and have a great day. Bye-bye.